An arrogant karate champion openly challenged Bruce Lee in front of a packed crowd. But what unfolded in the very first round left him stunned and full of regret. "Man, if this Bruce guy is all that, tell him to show up and spar. I'm ready anytime." The words echoed across the polished wooden floor of the Challenger Dojo, tucked inside a busy strip mall just off Ventura Boulevard in Los Angeles, 1970. At the center stood Scott Talbot, a lean 20-year-old black belt with sharp features, spiked blonde hair, and a mouth that often moved faster than his fists. His GI was spotless white, sleeves rolled high, and across his chest a patch read, "No mercy, no excuses." Scott was the kind of fighter people either wanted to be or wanted to beat. He had earned his black belt in under 3 years, trained under Sensei Yamamoto, and stacked up a dozen tournament wins in just 6 months. His kicks were crisp, his punches vicious, and his confidence unchecked. But lately his spotlight felt crowded. The name Bruce Lee was everywhere. Martial arts magazines, Hollywood gossip columns, even daytime talk shows. Clips of him delivering 1-inch punches or moving with impossible fluidity spread through Chinatown theaters and martial arts circles. Some called him the future. Others whispered he was untouchable. Scott didn't buy it. "I've seen the tapes," he scoffed, glancing at a grainy TV in the dojo corner. Bruce spoke calmly about Jeet Kune Do, how it wasn't a style but a concept, like water flowing without shape. Scott sneered. "That stuff won't work in a real fight. Looks fine on camera. Sure. But out here?" He'd fold. A younger student, Mikey, chimed in nervously. "Didn't he train with real masters though? And didn't he beat guys twice his size?" Scott smirked. "Exaggerated stories. Put him in the ring with me, with someone trained for real combat, and he'd drop in the first round." Then Scott said it out loud for everyone to hear. "If Bruce Lee's really what they say, tell him to find me. I'll show him what a black belt really looks like." It was arrogance, pure and unfiltered. But arrogance doesn't stay hidden. A visiting Muay Thai coach overheard, passed word to a Wing Chun instructor in Chinatown, and within days the challenge spread through Los Angeles like wildfire. By the 4th day, a stranger entered the dojo during evening training. Small, older, dressed in a Mandarin collar shirt. He bowed deeply to Sensei Yamamoto and handed him a sealed envelope. Silence fell as Yamamoto opened it. His eyes scanned the page, brows lifting slightly. Then he looked straight at Scott. "It's from Bruce Lee." Scott's chest tightened. He answered. Yamamoto nodded. "He accepts on his terms." The dojo buzzed. Mikey leaned in. "What terms?" Yamamoto read aloud. "No press. No students. No audience. A private spar at the Pasadena Martial Club. 3 rounds. Controlled contact. No winner, no loser, only clarity." Scott scoffed. "So he wants to hide from cameras? Afraid of losing his Hollywood image?" Yamamoto said nothing. His silence stung louder than words. The paper gave a date, July 29th. 10 a.m. sharp. Scott folded it. "I'll be there. And I won't hold back." The match. The day came quickly. Scott arrived at the Pasadena Martial Club with only his gloves and mouthguard. The building was plain, tucked behind a row of dull offices. Inside, the gym was nearly empty. No press. No crowd. Just 4 people, the timekeeper Mr. Chong, a quiet assistant, a Wing Chun associate, and Bruce Lee. He stood alone in the center, stretching calmly in black kung fu pants and a white tank. Smaller than Scott expected. Almost unimpressive. Scott smirked. "That's him." Chong nodded. "He came alone." Scott chuckled. "Then this won't take long." Bruce walked over, bowed deeply, and said, "Let's keep this respectful. We both walk out straight." Scott only muttered, "Respect is earned." The clap echoed. "Round 1. Begin." Scott charged. A clean hook kick aimed at Bruce's shoulder, fast, sharp, tournament ready. But Bruce wasn't there. In a blink he slid off the line, weight shifting like smoke. The kick cut air. Scott stumbled to balance. Bruce didn't counter. He just breathed, steady, calm, watching. Scott launched again. A flurry this time, jab, low sweep, rising elbow. Nothing landed. Bruce flowed around each strike like he'd rehearsed them 1,000 times. The room was silent except for soft footfalls and Bruce's faint exhales. 30 seconds in, Scott finally brushed Bruce's ribs with a glancing back fist. Bruce didn't flinch. Instead, he tapped Scott's thigh with a sidekick, light, precise, enough to shove him back a step. Not hard. Not flashy. But it sank deep. Realization hit Scott. Bruce was reading him like a book. With 20 seconds left, Bruce advanced. Not fast. Not wild. He feinted toward Scott's face, tapped his knee, then halted a palm strike an inch from Scott's chest. Ding. End of round. Scott stood, wide-eyed, chest heaving. Bruce hadn't broken a sweat. The lesson. Round 2 began differently. Scott bowed deeply this time. Bruce nodded. When the clap sounded, Bruce moved first. A lightning jab feint, a sweep that buckled Scott's stance, and a finger jab that stopped an inch from his eye. Cold chills surged down Scott's spine. Bruce could have blinded him instantly. Scott panicked, threw his best spinning back kick. Bruce stepped into it, nudged his leg midair, and left him stumbling. Then Bruce spoke. "You're not here to win. You're here to learn." Scott froze. Fighters didn't talk mid-match. Not like this. "You're strong fast," Bruce said calmly, circling. "But you're trapped, inside forms, inside habits." Scott lunged reflexively. Bruce slipped behind him with effortless grace. Timekeeper called, 20 seconds. Bruce exhaled deeply. "Be water." And in that moment, Scott felt it, not defeat, but regret. He hadn't been fighting Bruce Lee. He'd been fighting himself. The round ended. Bruce offered a hand. "You're not weak. You're just still full." Chang explained softly, "Bruce always said, an empty cup can be filled. But you came with yours full." Scott nodded slowly. He didn't need round 3. He didn't want it. The lesson was already carved in. Bruce left with nothing more than a towel over his shoulder. No cameras. No fanfare. Just silence and clarity. Weeks later, the dojo felt different. Scott no longer barked at juniors or bragged about tournament wins. He trained quietly, listened when Yamamoto spoke, and carried himself with humility. One night Mikey asked shyly, "Did you really spar Bruce Lee?" Scott smiled. "I met him." "Did you beat him?" Scott shook his head. "No. But he beat something in me." "Knocked you out?" Mikey asked. Scott laughed softly. "No. He knocked out the noise in my head." "That's harder." Years later, Scott opened his own school, not Talbot Karate, but the Empty Cup Martial Studio. Its logo, a simple ripple of water. No trophies on display. No boasting about that day in Pasadena. If asked, he'd only say, "He didn't fight me. He showed me how to stop fighting myself." And in a small frame near the office hung a faded photo. 2 men on a quiet mat, no audience, no victory, just a lesson that changed everything. Do you think confidence can cross the line into arrogance? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more unforgettable moments here on Timeless Icons.